Hi and welcome back to Score Game. We are starting a new series called Dungeons 2. This game came out in 2015 on Steam, and there is also Dungeons 3 which I will play on this channel in the future. This is a strategy game which we are playing as the absolute evil, who wants to destroy the heroes of the overworld. So let's kill some heroes, shall we? Okay, so the first mission is called the Battle for King's Ending. It was time. The troops of the absolute evil had driven the alliance back to their capital, King's Ending. The time for the final battle has arrived. Prepare to destroy the alliance and with it all good in the land and once and for all. Sounds good?
Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity. But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock in which the absolute evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters, who enjoyed a happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the absolute evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough, and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the absolute evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending.
Damn heroes deserve to die, stealing my treasure and all, killing my monsters.
After countless battles, the forces of the absolute evil reached the Alliance capital, King's Ending. The laughable remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. Evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths. Out of the depths of Stygian darkness arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front.
Holy dude,
In
this
the
is so
terribly
awesome.
improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided.
Okay, but I think I'm gonna take the sound down a bit. $70. Let's try like that. Okay, this reminds me of Warcraft 3. Can I kill the bunny? Of course I can kill the bunny, and I do 666. Of course.
The presence of the absolute evil was also reflected in the land itself. Grass withered, and in places the ground tore open to reveal bubbling lava. Even the forest could not withstand the aura of the ultimate evil, and beat a hasty retreat. A few of the Alliance units had entrenched themselves here. A determined absolute evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon.
Kill the dwarves. Kill them all. Insta kill. Insta kill. Double kill. Okay, they seem to don't stand a chance. What's this?
Absolute evil had discovered a medal. These legendary awards ensure the creature could be made even more powerful. Only one downside, the creature could only wear one at a time. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin.
Okay, let's help our master. Okay, this is still too loud. Let's try this. I don't know, are these dwarves or
catapults darkened the sky.
Or
But the
humans?
Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived. Absolute evil strode like a war god through the defenders' ranks and smote them with ease to the ground.
Destroy the catapult 10-10. One hit? Of course, one hit.
The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil. And even that won't be able to hold out for much longer.
Simple farmer.
Nothing and no one could stop the invincible evil.
Get out of my way.
The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending. The final battle beckoned. The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Ha 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 ha!
Honor buildings. At regular intervals, heroes march up to Alliance buildings. Yeah, I already knew.
Yeah, sorry.
What's this? Using skills. Units may have one or more active skills that can be selected by the action with. Oh, I also have skills.
Stay in character. The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city.
Awesome, but I already insta-killed them anyway. Yeah, but I can't reach those, so I need to use the skill, I guess.
Using its legend, wait for it, dairy powers.
Really?
The absolute
How I
evil
met
destroyed the
your mother
impediment with
joke?
ease and simultaneously eliminated a whole group of defenders. Story.
What's this?
The road
range?
to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond.
Do I have like infinite range? I do.
Actually, the cowardly evil did hesitate.
Uh,
What would await it in the city? Would its lousy defenders, which it previously had managed to slay in droves, suddenly come up with something more serious?
I'm just gonna wait a bit. I want to see what he says. I wait. Come on, narrator. Do it. He's not saying anything. Pointing. Spikes from the ground.
Lost in thought, the
Oh, he
contemplative
said
evil
something.
didn't dare. The insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly, The doors of several houses in the city opened.
Oh, they're
and with
actually
a
doing
loud
damage.
roar, defenders bore down on the rather surprised evil. An ambush.
Destroy every house needs to be destroyed. Destroy the castle.
The invincible evil had crushed the defenders. King's Ending had been defeated. At least, that's what it thought.
Oh no, the heroes.
Suddenly, the final heroes of the Alliance emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? Now, this was becoming very boring. But wait, this time it was different. Instead, the heroes raised their hands and started singing an incomprehensible chant. A magical ritual? This did not bode well. Well, actually, it bode the arrival of good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil.
Okay, so
Somewhere
I
in
guess
the
we
depths
finished
of the
already.
dungeon, the ultimate
level.
evil awoke. It did not know what had happened, nor why it had awoken, but it longed for revenge.
Okay, so I guess the heroes managed to stop the invasion.
The last remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered, "I'll be back," could be heard coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended. The good people of the Overworld rejoiced, and an era of peace began for the Alliance. The evil creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were resting, never again to see the light of the Overworld. Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke.
Your first mistake, heroes. You have to finish the job.
And the hand of terror arose, controlled by the ultimate evil. Come on, hand of terror, arise, damn you! Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required. Still not bright enough. An old throne room was revealed by the light. The circumstances remained a mystery. The hand of terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the ultimate evil had. After a few flying sessions, the ultimate evil was able to control the hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its dirty work. Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad evil hired one snot on the spot.
First of all, select your throne room by left-click the room. Now select higher equals not. Here. Press B. The nuts are small, cute creatures that do all the dirty work in the dungeon. Whether you need gold mine,
After very careful consideration, the ultimate evil now decided to recruit a little snot.
Little snots are what you need. Other monsters in the horde love to use these dispensable workers to reduce their boredom levels.
The first little snot appeared. It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate evil. Little snots were important to the ultimate evil because they took care of many important little things, such as excavating new areas. The psionically gifted evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the side.
Okay, let's see, population points. Okay, so this we have 50. Even an evil genius such as yourself can only control a certain number of creatures, shown by the population points at the top, the middle. Okay, so
South. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction.
excavation, you can instruct your little snots to excavate areas of the dungeon. Do so, left click on a tile. Give me this gold. Get gold to hire more snots.
Good grief. Have you ever played a game? Please select the highlighted area in order for it to be excavated, or look at the help where you will find detailed explanations of what to do. Now, move it.
Okay, so I guess he gets only 25 gold for each dig. Well, let's continue with the main quest.
As quick as a fart,
I think he
the
wants
little
us to
snot
dig
made
this
his
one.
way to the marked position and began to dig.
I can hear something here.
Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Oh, wait. Treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh, well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The hand of terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the
Finally, we
little
got some more
snots could
snots.
excavate them.
So I was wondering why we can see anything on the map, because there's another map here. I guess this is the map for the overworld. And this is for the underworld. Gonna back to work. Gonna hire more snots.
As soon as the gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil.
I'm only going to hire 10 of them, so we can have population points for goblins, or whatever. Okay, we can't even spam hire them, we have to wait 10 seconds. Cool. Enough.
Once most of the gold had been mined, the hand of terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored.
Okay, so is this in infinite gold? Okay, we can see. So let's see. Okay, we got this types of gold. You will come across two types of gold underground: gold veins, rich gold veins. Okay, gold veins can be removed quickly, much in the same way as normal gold. Provide you with quick boost of gold for a short period of time. Gold veins last a longer period of time, but only provide a small gold each time. Okay, so that's why we only got 25 gold for each dig. This is kind of takes a long time to destroy, but we get lesser gold. Okay, sure. Build a room. First of all, select everything you have selected. Okay, we have to click rooms. We already saw the button here. Note that the production facilities generally require work unit in order to treasury. I guess created here.
The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors.
Well, we
From
can
now on,
actually-
little snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer to be precise. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be created. The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the hand of terror change that? The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle slap.
Okay, so I guess we can snap them so they can work faster for a while. But it seems like we damaged them. So I don't know about that. Okay, so we can
There was
actually
now an area cleared for the
store
brewery
100
site,
gold for
and
one
with
tile
quick
of
finger snaps from the hand
treasury.
of terror, the room stood ready.
Okay, this guy talks too much, dude. Okay, let's build the treasury. That. I guess the production facilities are something else. Build a brewery where your little snots can brew delicious beer.
Excellent. But the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too.
The kettle.
The hard-working evil
That's a
effortlessly
big
built
thing,
a
dude.
brewing copper so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snots started working on the brewing copper. The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds. Orcs were defensive close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks. The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could currently manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought in. It's payday.
Dude, too many
An
information.
eerie
Calm
gong
down.
rang through the halls. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus, it had to give free rein to its servants' desires. For the time being, at least. The creature disappeared into the pit of uselessness with a long, drawn, and gradually diminishing...
Okay, so orcs require 2 population
This
points.
particular act of wickedness brought a smile to the face of the ultimate evil.
Okay, so I guess we have to get rid of 4 workers. Yes, you're going in, buddy. Okay, we don't need gold anymore, we have a lot of gold. So let's see. These orcs are not doing anything.
Suddenly, one of the repellent evil's servants became very thirsty. This was typical of a troop member of the unanonymous alcoholics known as the Horde. The Dipso made his way to the nearest brew.
Okay, let's read the tutorials. A lot of them stacked up. Find a badge in your dungeon, you can simply pick it up with the hand of terror and drop it on a monster to give you the badge.
Brewery to quench his thirst.
You can also whack your units with your hand. Okay, we already know
A
that.
thirsty orc.
Rooms have an efficient rating that shows how well work can be performed inside. Try to ensure that a room is surrounded by walls as far as possible, that they have it will also be upgraded. It's even beyond 100%. Shows 104.
Arrived at the brewery.
We already know this.
Eager and staggering, he started demolishing the alcohol-hoarding evil stock of beer.
Yeah, let's see. Regeneration rate. So I guess we're gonna give this to a work. There you go. Where can we see it? Yes, we can. We need to hire 2 more orcs. So we need a worker to brew the beer. We need workers to mine gold. We need workers to destroy walls. So the population is going to be a problem. The next levels. Maybe. Okay, let's spend this. Can't. But if we do it like this. Okay, one more orc.
One louse-infested orc crawled up from the depths and declared allegiance to the ultimate evil. The first step towards the creation of a powerful army had been taken. The profound evil had had enough of dungeon sightseeing and now wanted to move to the surface to try a dish that is best served cold. Revenge. Some Alliance members were bound to be guarding the entrance to the Overworld. A fine appetizer for a vengeful evil.
Let's expand the treasury. And here. Okay, we need to move this over there. Have to demolish it. Okay, we got gold, but we only got 188. Losing gold if we demolish. We can have 2 breweries now. I mean, 2 brew kettles. But we can still only store. Oh, I guess we need more room. In order to store more barrels, because like now we can only store 4 barrels. I know, I should probably not
Is this all a bit slow for you? Visit the premium shop,
not do
where you can buy
everything
20 gems
I'm
for
doing,
just
but
$100,
I like doing it.
which will speed up the rate at which this work is done. Hang on a minute, this isn't a free-to-play game. Just completely ignore what I just said.
Oh, what's this? Lot of things here, I think, like spells or something. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I really need to expand the brewery and the treasury and things, but I don't know. Feels like it's going to help me better understand the mechanics. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so can we store now? We can store 50 barrels now, so I was right. If we expand the room, we can store more barrels because we have more space. And it seems we can only have 3 kettles in a brewery. Okay, but I don't need it anymore. Okay, what's this payday? Okay, so I guess They need to be paid every week or something. Okay, let's see. Damage, armor, speed. See here, wages. Shows how much gold this creature expects each payday. Boredom. Shows how well this creature can motivate other creatures. Shows how bored this creature is. When 3 bored creatures stops working until the value sinks again. And thirst. Okay, there's nothing else we can do. Okay, let's continue the game. So I think we have to dig here. These orcs are pretending to do anything. He's just hitting the wall. He's expecting me to pay him.
Came upon a spider's nest during their search for an entrance to the overworld. It would take more than one orc to smoke them out. The abysmal evil used the hand of terror to grab several of the creatures that were still completely inexperienced at fighting and threw them onto the spider's nest.
Oh no, he destroyed the... They got experience, but they didn't do anything. Go, kill them. Okay, the orcs are pretty strong, or at least the
spiders dropped like flies.
Oh my god, I didn't want to do that.
The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such aplomb. And by led, I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy. The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly, the expansion-hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon.
It seems like the workers don't have experience. So why do orcs have production experience? They're not doing anything. Okay, maybe they're gonna do something later.
The evil has awoken, but its brothers are still asleep.
Huh? What on earth was that? That's not in my script. What a weirdo. No matter. We'd better get back to concentrating on the dungeon.
Okay, picking up units. In your dungeon you can pick up units with a hand. And your brewery. But I already did that. What are you talking about?
A huge monstrosity loomed out of the darkness on 8 legs. This dungeon's human guards had been ancient history for a long while. Now it was home to a huge spider and her brood. Would Sam and Frodo escape it and continue their journey to Mount Doom, or was this the end of the ring bearer? Hang on a minute, that's not the right thing. Where were we? Oh yes, a huge spider, henceforth called the Spider Queen. It would be necessary to eliminate the Spider Queen before the horde could reach the surface. The Spider Queen sent forth a wave of her children. Of course, the ultimate evil was fully aware of this danger and immediately prepared to defend itself against them. At least, that's what I heard.
But how can I heal them? It's like I healed all of them with that poke. Come on, die. Stop running.
The vile perversion, once called the Spider Queen, had nothing more with which she could fight the horde. Later, the sensitive evil would have her innards made into a lava lamp. The way to the surface was open. Now it was time to put those vengeance plans into practice. The vile evil wanted to take this opportunity to utter a really sinister laugh, but unfortunately, its physical state made this unviable. Instead, it asked the narrator to do a bit of sinister laughter on its behalf. Oh well, here goes. Deep breath.
I guess we finished this level.
Once the ultimate evil had escaped from the depths, still fettered to the throne, it traveled to wreak terrible vengeance on those who had done this, heavily supported by its little snots. The first target was Paladin Robert, now King of the Alliance. He had withdrawn to the quiet surroundings of his hunting lodge. There, he would be the perfect victim.
Okay, so I'm going to end this video here. I guess in the next video we're gonna kill King Robert. So yeah, if you want to support me making more videos, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.